All right, welcome back to the AM show. Listen, today we have somebody special in the studio, and I mean special. She is not just a singer, not just a performer, not just an actress. Sophia Angelica is a movement with a melody. From stages around the globe to powerful work with the United Nations, she's turned her voice into a healing instrument, speaking truth, spreading love, and lifting up communities from Newark all the way to Nicaragua. Whether she's performing for world leaders or mentoring the next generation, Sophia stays grounded in purpose and is powered by passion. So join us right now as we welcome Sophia Angelica.
Hey, well, I loved that movement with a melody.
There you go.
That's nice. That's poetry right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, movement with a melody.
Whoa, I might, excuse me if I use that from now on.
Yeah, it is all yours. It is all yours. That is awesome. Well, we're so excited to have you on the show and have you joining us. And Sophia, we have so much that we want to get into, but I think one of the places we want to start is early beginnings. How did you start and get into this journey, this creative space? You do so many things, but where was your start?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks so much for the invite. This is so fun. It's an honor to be here. And yeah, since I was little, I just kind of got into the arts naturally. I was 7 years old when I picked up a pen and was like, how do you become a famous singer? Like, ha ha ha. And my mom's like, well, you may have to write a song first. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write a song. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and literally the other day, I was looking through my papers and I find like horrible handwriting. Like the first kind of like words I scribbled out, and I had no idea what a structure was at that point. It was just like words, but it looked like it was supposed to be a song. But I'm like, that's kind of like the natural beginning. My whole family are artists. Literally, my mom's an actress, my grandmother's an actress, lots of actors, but I also had like a great uncle who's a famous violinist in Italy, and like my dad's a classical guitarist, like a lot of my grandparents were singers. Like, it's like very random, like mixture of artists in my family. And I think it just came naturally because of that. Another inspiration is Phantom of the Opera. I don't know why, but I fell in love with the music when I was like 7. I would stand up and start singing it, you know, and I'd be like, yeah, why is this guy killing people? But there's something about the music that like I love. And my mom's like, oops, I guess I got to bring her to singing classes. She's really bad right now, but she'll get better. But yeah, it was a mixture of all of those things. Yeah. Just the natural need to do this. I took it as a career since I was like 7, just naturally being like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And here I am.
Yeah, and you're actually doing it. Wow, so it was kind of like in the blood, but then also just the people around you. And we actually had your mother on the show, Susan Riven, everyone you guys remember. Oh my gosh, so fantastic. So it is great to hear that she's like, okay, you want to do this? Now I know the people who can try to help you with
the encouragement.
This. Yeah, which is awesome. And you actually, at just 6 years old, you had a role on Dora the Explorer, right?
Yeah, I was around 13 when I was on Dora.
Okay, tell us about that.
But it's definitely the thing that haunts me for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, I think it's so cool. Talk about it.
It's like I played the role of a singing rabbit for like a 3-episode special, but that 3-episode special became so popular that now it's like everywhere, and I continue to receive residuals for it. It's hilarious. And like everywhere I go, it's like they'll introduce me, right? Do they introduce me as like the activist or like has traveled here or singer, songwriter? No. The white rabbit from Dora the Explorer. And they change my color sometimes. The yellow rabbit, the red rabbit, the blue rabbit. But you know, I'm just a rabbit, so I identify as a rabbit apparently.
There you go.
And that's pretty much what happens every time I perform. But it was a great experience. I also played like some other random little characters, and I had to harmonize with myself in these character voices. Like suddenly be like a troll, and suddenly be like a fairy, and like the whole thing, and sing in those voices, and it was a fun time.
You were just 13 though. Like that's not an easy feat for like someone who's seasoned in the industry. How were you able to accomplish all of that though?
Well, that was all through an auditioning process. As you know, my mom is a talent manager, so she would get the auditions, and you know, I would do the audition and you know, maybe get the job. I did a lot of voiceovers as a kid because like I had neutral Spanish, which is something they often look for in voiceovers, meaning no accent in Spanish. So yeah, I did a voiceover of like a cat for the New York Lotto, like just meowing for like a minute. And, like, I did a lot of random stuff like that growing up. So I did start out acting,
Yeah.
and then you know, jumped into singing at the same time, but took singing even more seriously, mainly when the United Nations stuff started happening.
Yeah.
But regardless, it was always my like #1 passion.
Wow.
wow.
Wow. Well, speaking of, you just touched on the United Nations. Can you share more about that? I mean, that is unbelievable.
Well, yeah, when I was 12, I sang at a family party, and someone from the UN was there. I still had stage fright. I had no idea what I was doing. And my mom's like, sing, it's this person's birthday, and like, you know, make her happy. And the person from the UN, her name's Dr. Judy Kuryansky. She is the head of a mental health NGO at the UN. And she comes up to me and she goes, you have to sing at the UN. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'll go sing. So I went and I sang Whitney Houston in front of world leaders the week later.
Wow.
And then it became a snowball effect of come sing at my conference, come sing at my event. And suddenly I became UN singing girl with organizations affiliated with the UN, not particularly like the UN as an entity, but these organizations eventually took me to other places, like Taiwan. I did a tour out there, and Thailand with different organizations related to like human rights, anti-bullying, anti-discrimination, especially as a Latina. So I would focus a lot on those topics when singing and performing and writing music. Besides, of course, my own like personal music that I would, you know, release on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, that became a mixture of all that, and knowing that the power of music is so strong. It became a passion because I literally would see changes happen in people's lives just by like a song or just by like a phrase that I would say in a song. Just anything related to music has like this power to create change, I feel. Like much more than someone like telling you what to do or giving you a 40-minute speech. Like I saw it in Taiwan where I did a 40-minute speech and then I did a concert performance, and literally no one spoke about my 40-minute speech that I worked so hard on.
I'm sure it was fantastic. I'm sure it was great.
Literally everyone was like, that song, it inspired me to do this, or like, now I understand this, or like we got survey responses, like now I can follow my dreams, I realized I can do this. And I was talking about this in another interview the other day where like someone said they no longer wanted to commit suicide because of a song. And like, so it was one of those mind-blowing moments where it's like, I have to connect my music to social causes, regardless of where I take my music career itself, you know.
Wow. I mean, that just shows the power of music in itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it inspired me to literally write a thesis for school, 100-something page thesis on like the psychology and like the physical aspects and social aspects of music and how it can affect you in those ways. It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, because it sparks something inside you. The way that the music notes, it triggers you inside, and then you're able to maybe make it a core memory more than just, I don't know, like, I'm sure your speech was incredible, but sometimes we don't focus on every word, but somehow when you put it to music, the same words,
sticks in your
I
head.
bet you if you did that 40-minute speech with a guitar and singing it, people would stick to it a little bit more. And it's very interesting.
I swear if I said like the core message of the speech and just repeated it 20 times in a melody, people would be like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, they get it now. And I think that's great that you've recognized that at least, and now you're saying that you're putting that into some of your music. So how have you been able to do that?
Well, most recently, the song that I released that's kind of like the one that everyone's responding to most now is called Parte de Mí. It is a bilingual song, and it is kind of like the start of my new era of doing only like pop bilingual music. And so this song, for example, it's just an example, talks about like being proud of the various facets of you. Like I was getting pulled in many directions in music in my career and as an artist, and people telling me what I had to do, like that I had to either focus on the Latin industry or like the American industry. Like I couldn't do both at the same time, or like you have to fit in a box and a stereotype. Like, oh, how odd, you're blonde and you speak Spanish. That means you can either be famous in the Latin industry because people are confused by that and like, whoa, this is crazy. Or you can be a Taylor Swift in the American industry and people will love you because of that. And it's like, it's like fit in one of these boxes. And so that song kind of explores just embracing all the parts of you and and being like, no, why can't I be all these things at the same time and fit in my own box? So that's an example of a song that I use to like push forward. And now like every other song that I'm releasing from then on is fully bilingual to kind of embrace that.
Wow, I love, and even with that music video, we actually have a clip of the music video we're going to show right now. But you use boxes and you use two different perspectives in order to kind of prove that point that there's two of you, it seems, but you're also still one.
And they're both interacting.
Yeah.
So you'll see like me passing a jacket to the other side and the other girl grabbing it. Well, the other girl's me, but you know. But it's so funny. When we were doing a music video, we called them like Sophia 1, Sophia 2, or something like that.
Yeah, but it's all you, but it's all Sophia,
Exactly.
and I think that's how powerful the message is. So guys, why don't you check out just a quick clip of that incredible song.
My heart beating both ways, dividing where I stand, but defining who I am. Mundos diferentes en esta vida doble, tienen la misma voz, partiéndonos en dos. Maybe everyone has that part of them. Maybe everyone is just a little bit scared. You can be the villain and the hero at the same time. You can be the sun and the moon while they both rise. Basta de luchar contra mi verdad. It's just me, soy yo, porque las dos son parte de mí. Son parte de, las dos son parte de mí.
Grandma made the cameo. That's amazing.
Wait, you're just saying that was your grandmother at the end there? See, I could tell from that one video. I was like, oh, she has a vibe. This video is just so incredible. Like, I love that line there where you can be the sun and the moon and they're both rising at the same time. Like, you don't have to differentiate. And that must have been hard for you, and it maybe still is, just trying to find your footing in the industry. And I love how you are saying, you know what? No, I'm making a splash. I'm merging both worlds together, and this is the way I'm moving in the industry.
Yeah, it's kind of like a niche thing, and not everyone understands it at first. Like, yes, a lot of people do bilingual music, but it tends to be like, oh, a collab, one song here and there, a collab with an American artist or a collab with a Latin artist. And there's some others that are doing it, like Kaliuchi, she does bilingual music, but it's like hers is a little more like R&B, right? A little more indie vibe, right? And so like I'm here like, why can't I be the like pop star that does bilingual music, like the mainstream that does bilingual music, and fit into both industries? It is hard because it's one of those things that you can't wrap your head around, and you're like, I'm trying to decide if I like this or not, right? But I feel like it's one of those things that like, it's harder to get there, but eventually there's some longevity to it because once it's accepted, it's like this new thing, this new territory that people can step into. But also for young girls or young people to kind of realize like, hey, it's okay to be all these parts of me, all these facets, like, because they really are all a part of me. Why would I have to hide? There's so many people hiding parts of them because they want to show one face to the world. And it happens through social media all the time, every day.
Yeah. Wow, so powerful.
I know. I have a question actually about what is that writing process? Can you break down what that writing process is like? So when you're writing a song, are you writing the entire thing in English and you're translating, or vice versa? Are you writing it all in Spanish and then you're picking parts and then you change it? And then, like, what does that look like?
I mean, it varies. So some of these songs actually, like I would have like they are already pre-written, some of them, and I'll just like translate different parts that make sense to translate. And sometimes I'll be like, oh, the translation sounds even better than the original lyrics, cool. Or sometimes be like, no, this sucks, like I'm gonna need to rewrite this. But yeah, it varies. Like sometimes I'll write it all in English, sometimes I'll write it all in Spanish, and then I'll translate different parts. Or sometimes it just naturally comes out bilingual because I talk to people bilingual often, so.
Gotcha. Wasn't there a movie called Spanglish, kind of like that, right?
I'll be like, yes, pero like.
Saying it in two different ways.
Yes, pero like, you know.
That is awesome.
Well, it's incredible that you're that fluent in another language where you don't even have an accent. Like, how rare is that, really?
I mean, I feel like it's not too rare. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have that, of course. Like, It's just a matter of, yeah, it's maybe some people hiding that part of them, or like I know a lot of Americans who speak Spanish very, very well, like fluently, and they'll just like mostly speak English throughout their day, and they start losing the Spanish too.
Yeah.
Like I love Spanish and I use it in like everyday life, so it just became a part of my practice, like, or just a part of me talking to people in general.
Yeah, well, it's your story, it's your life, it's you. And speaking of your story and your life, you have done some amazing things. You've talked about how you have traveled to perform for all different walks of life through the UN, across the world, but you've also performed at some pretty big locations right here in New York. I mean, you've been in Times Square, you've also were performing at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
Yankee Stadium. And I want to get your reaction to what those moments are like when you step out there, all eyes are on you singing the national anthem. But first, I want to play a clip of you at Yankee Stadium, and then I want to get your reaction, because guys, it is incredible. Let's see it.
Was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
Wow.
I think those singing lessons paid off.
Oh yeah, they were
goodness.
apparently they were really expensive, but I was a child, so I don't remember.
Yeah, well, worth every single penny right there. Like, yep, check, check, check. Just show your mom that video and say, see, it was worth it, right? What's that like? What's that feeling like? Not like when you hit every note, you go out there, and I don't know, are there nerves running through you? Are you a little nervous, or are you so prepped with your vocal ability that you're like, I'm going to crush it? What's that moment like for you?
I feel like there's always a little bit of nerves. It depends on the song too. Like I could be super comfortable with a song and just be like, okay, whatever. Like literally one of the songs that I'm so comfortable with, for some reason, because I just grew up singing it, is I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. So it's like, I'll sing that wherever, whenever, whatever.
Yeah.
But I did have stage fright growing up. Like I mentioned before, like I would lock myself in a bathroom until I was pulled out to like go sing.
Wow.
But now there's like, you know, there's always that little bit of nerves. Like people say you're not a true artist if you don't feel a little nervous. Like, but it's more like the butterflies in the stomach thing. But I guess I feel comfortable enough with my voice now and know how to control it and manipulate it that, you know, it's not more if I'm gonna do well or not do well. It's more just like, ooh, this is a big thing.
Yeah.
Cool. But it was an incredible experience getting to perform in a lot of these places and just, you know, feel the energy of the crowd. I feel like that's what gives back, right? The energy of the crowd as you're performing, and it helps you even continue forward in this more open, like super cool way.
That is
Totally.
that
We
is
were just
amazing.
talking about that yesterday, the energy of the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how them being involved, because Z was bringing up a story yesterday about how artists are now trying to ban having phones at concerts because people are just sitting up there the whole time recording like this. They're not really connecting with the artist and they're kind of out of it. Have you experienced any of that before?
Yeah, I mean, like that's the point, is to connect with the audience. So I'll bring up like an example. Like I sing sometimes, it depends in varying places, like you can say bars or live music venues every now and then, you know, besides these events, right? And it'll be like for fun with my band, right? Let's perform something, right? But then I'll sing. I work with this organization called the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance. They are, it's owned by Arturo O'Farrell. He's like a Latin and American Grammy Award winner for like Latin jazz. His dad was Chico O'Farrell, who like was the pioneer of like Afro-Cuban jazz.
Wow.
And so like they hire me 2 months out of the year with my band to go perform at community centers at old folks' homes. And actually that's what I'm doing right after this.
Oh, wow.
And we go to these places and, you know, they don't use their phones really. So they are like fully invested. They get up, they dance, they're excited. They're like, this is life. This is like why I'm living. I want to dance. I want to enjoy. I want to listen to music. And it gives them like this excitement to come back and the hope, right? And I do it like once a week for 2 months, and they're always sad that I go, right? And I'm always sad to go. But then you go to a place like a bar or a live music venue, and I see this with other bands, like where everyone's on their phone or just recording, or they're just like, or drunk, you know, they're like, whatever. And so it's a different kind of energy. Like I get excited to go perform at these community centers every week and kind of see people who will really, truly enjoy it, as opposed to going to these live music venues where all they care about is like, woo, party.
Sad.
Yeah, you know, like I feel like, especially from a performance perspective, there's always this exchange, you know, this exchange of energy. And, you know, I always think about, from the artist's perspective, you know, when you're writing these songs, they mean a lot. You know, even the songs that you've written for the UN, they are so intentional. They're so purpose-driven. And so, you know, I feel for artists who go up there and then people are just, either kind of just in their own world, you know, when they're experiencing the performance, or they have their phones out and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
and at these United Nations events, they really enjoy it as well, because it's about the topic that they're there to talk about, right? So they're like, yes, this is what we're here for, and that's beautiful. And people from all over the world who often don't speak, like sometimes don't speak English, you know, and they're just there connecting through the music, and it's amazing to see.
So good. That is so good. Now, you do a lot. I mean, what is your message for the next generation? Because, you know, you've inspired, as you were sharing before, there have been people through your music that said, you know, because of your songs, I was considering, you know, taking my life, and you know, your song inspired me to not do that. What is your message for the youth, for the generation, people who are inspired by your music? What's the message that you have for them?
Well, I always say, like, if you have a talent, to use it for good. Because yes, do it for fun, do it for your career, if you like, whatever you want. But like, there's always a chance that you're gonna impact someone with what you're doing, especially as a singer, artist, actor. Like, people have eyes on you, so you have a social responsibility in a way to impact others in this positive way, right? So I always say, like, if you have a talent, use it for good. Another thing is, be yourself. You know, don't be afraid to show all those parts of you, because they're all beautiful. We're all human. Like, nobody's perfect. like just live in the moment, enjoy life, show who you are, and don't be afraid to do so. And yeah, just live every moment with joy and laughter. It's the most important thing in life, because it's like, you know, when you grow old, what are you going to remember? You're going to remember those moments of joy and laughter, those moments you enjoyed at a concert. So it's like, part of that is being yourself, because if you're hiding yourself every 2 seconds, then it gets to be taxing.
Yeah, well, and what I love so much is how authentic you are, because you're talking about that you've really come into your own. You no longer are hiding in a bathroom. You're coming out. You're proud of your music. You're proud of your voice. You're proud to be just you. And other people are also seeing that, and they're seeing that with your work, because recently you actually won an incredible award. You won the Marvin Hamlisch Award, presented by none other than Clive Davis. I mean, congratulations about that. So just tell us about that moment and what that meant to you.
Well, it was definitely surprising. I mean, I did apply for it, but it came out of nowhere. Like, I was in the middle of 20 things at once, and suddenly I get the email, and I'm like, oh, wow, okay, oh, this is a thing. That's awesome. And I had even applied with a song that I had, like, not thought much about. Like, it was part of my album, but I never released it as, like, a single. It was just part of the album that I released in 2023. And the song itself is inspirational. It's like about like pushing through any difficulties and overcoming adversity. Like, I have a story in there about within the music video about my brother who was in need of a kidney transplant, and he got his kidney transplant through like a song I wrote. So it's literally all about the overcoming of adversity. And so the fact that it won with a song that's inspirational and that has a message is what really got me the most, because I'm like, you know, music industry is not dead. Well, but in the sense of like, you know, I believe strongly that like adding a message to your music is important. Even if it's as light as, which my last song that I just released, even if it's as light as just like live in the moment, live in the present, and have fun, right?
Yeah.
But some kind of message that people can get something from it, whether it's just a really fun, happy moment, or whether it's something long-lasting. So winning that award through a song like that was really like impactful for me. It was an honor to receive it from Clive Davis. I was like, I was like me singing Whitney Houston songs all my life, and then I'm like, ah.
Awesome.
But yeah, incredible figure in the music industry. And yeah, it was just shocking in all the right ways.
That's so cool.
Sounds like a full circle moment. Sounds like it was meant to be in more ways than none. So congratulations.
Yes,
for that.
yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And now that we've learned as much as we can right now about you, it's so incredible. We want to hear you perform. So guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, you're actually going to perform one of your new songs, Bajo la Luna Llena. Did I say that right?
Almost.
Okay.
Bajo la luna llena.
Llena.
Under the full moon. Under the full moon.
Under the full moon. All right, guys. Bajo la Luna Llena. There we go. Under the full moon. Sophia Angelica. We will be right back with that song. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome back into the show. We are still here with our special guest, Sophia Angelica. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Yeah.
Now, we heard your pipes. We saw you at Yankee Stadium. We've heard you in your music video, but we're so grateful that you're going to be singing live for us right now. So tell us a little bit about the song you're going to sing.
Sure. Well, Bajo la Luna Llena is a bilingual tropical pop song. It's kind of like Song of the Summer vibes. And the song kind of talks about just kind of letting loose, living in the present, living in the moment, and just kind of giving into feeling and emotion. And that being kind of like the most important thing instead of the stress of tomorrow.
Did something inspire you to write it? Or?
Ironically enough, not anything emotional. It was actually more like me sitting on the beach and staring at a full moon.
Oh, that's a great place to
But
be.
like, you know, crazy things happen during the full moon, so that's kind of what the song kind of dives into a little bit.
Oh, amazing. I love it. I believe we have actually the cover of the song as well, this artwork here. Look how beautiful it is. So what was the inspiration for this look here?
Well, definitely the Under the Full Moon vibe has a little bit of that, but the photo was taken by someone named Raul Blanco. He's super cool, and we actually didn't even like shoot that like under an actual full moon. Of course, it was just indoors somewhere else with some plants, and
wow.
and that was edited and graphic designed by Manuel Rodriguez, and he kind of created the whole tropical vibe in the background. But it kind of just goes with the song. It's the
For
vibe.
sure.
Perfect.
For sure.
It's perfect. It's great. It's awesome. So if you're ready, we're excited to hear it live. All right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Hands
Let's do
together
it.
for Sophia. Woohoo.
Cerca de la energía del mar, dizzy as the water moves sensation. Voy pegándome al ritmo sensual de las olas mientras llegan hacia mí, bailando lento y suave. El mundo desaparece, and all that's left is me and you. El cielo iluminando, corazón acelerando antes de que salga el sol. Bajo la luna llena, we don't know where we'll end up, pero queremos más, tú y yo en las estrellas. Under the full moon tonight, crazy is feeling just right. Y no hay que pensar, es solo natural bajo la luna llena. Bajo la luna llena. Bajo la luna llena. Voy pegándome al ritmo sensual de las olas mientras llegan hacia mí. Eyes are burning in the summer heat. Me falta el aire, but you give me the life I need. Todo parece al revés, but somehow planets align cuando somos tú y yo. El cielo iluminando, corazón acelerando antes de que salga el sol. Bajo la luna llena, we don't know where we'll end up, pero queremos más, tú y yo en las estrellas. Under the full moon tonight, craziest feeling just right. Y no hay que pensar, es solo natural bajo la luna llena. Bajo la luna llena. Bright even in the darkness, reflejando emociones. I never admit in the light of day, but the weight of the moon pulls us close, and I just can't seem to control when I whisper te quiero. Bajo la luna llena, we don't know where we'll end up, pero queremos más, tú y yo. Under the full moon tonight, craziest feeling just right. Y no hay que pensar, es solo natural bajo la luna llena. Bajo la luna llena.
Wow. What? That was
Oh my goodness.
first of all, that riff at the end. And you had me dancing, bailamos, bailamos, bailamos.
going.
Wow.
So
that
the
was
funny
amazing.
thing about that riff at the end is that so it was originally supposed to be a whistle, and so what you hear at the end is actually like my actual voice doing.
What?
Which is so hard to do at 10 a.m. But you know.
Oh my God.
Listen, you
You're
did
like
it.
Miss Snow White. You crushed that.
Yeah, you
note.
did it.
You got really up there.
You did that. That was incredible. I mean, the song is amazing. It's high energy. It's tempo. It definitely, when it comes on, there's no way you can hear that song and not want to move. Yeah, we were all dancing behind the scenes,
Summer
behind
song
the cameras.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
that is stuck in our head for the rest of the day. So thank you so much, guys.
Yes.
Big round of applause once again for Sophia Angelica. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here. We so appreciate it. Where can we get your music? Where can we find you? We have some of your socials here. What should we be on the lookout for next?
Yes, on all digital platforms under at Sophia Angelica Music, Sophia with a PH. A lot of people spell it with an F. You can find it on Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much all of it, YouTube.
Amazing.
All right.
Amazing. So good. Honestly, you have to come back. You know, any new music, we're going to be listening. We have our ears fixated on all things Sophia. So thank you again for coming and joining us.
Yeah.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, shall we dance it out? Shall we dance it out with some music?
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
Guys, we are going to be back with more of the show right after this little dance break. We'll be right back. Baja la